Welcome everybody to the Backstage Boys podcast live. This is live. This is so different. I do this all the time, guys. I broadcast live constantly, and for some reason, I don't have a shtick down for this one. This is our first live broadcast for the Backstage Boys.
There's no legal snacks.
No legal.
My whole gimmick is gone.
The whole gimmick's gone because everything's legal, and
everything is legal here.
We are on our new Twitch, which hopefully it's working. Basil, you want to test that Twitch? Make sure we're on. It's actually working.
God, I hope so.
I really hope the Twitch is working.
Let me check out this Twitch. Oh, the Twitch is live.
Our first Twitch broadcast, gentlemen. How does that feel?
Feels great.
This is great.
I love Twitch.
Hey, look, Adam Impact is here. Look at that.
Hey, what's up, Adam?
Look at this. So the Backstage Boys podcast. You know, I feel before should I do the intro shtick, or should I do an introduction to what we are? Because
isn't the intro shtick where you guys talk for like 45 minutes about nothing?
Yes. Well, let's talk.
Yes.
We'll see. Okay, let's go back.
Let's talk about why we're 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late.
We'll
let's
talk about that. Okay, then
no. We're gonna talk about it now.
Okay, we can do that now. Let's do that.
It's Trent's fault.
It's always my fault, man.
Are you late for your other podcasts?
Never.
I can't. Well, no. Okay, here's the thing.
I can't.
I can't. But this one I can.
In Nate talk, hey man, let me talk. Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to them.
Here's what happened.
Now do Keith talk. Do Dr. Keith talk.
Dr. Keith talk. Hey buddy, listen, little problem
here.
Buddy, running a little long. Yeah. Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. Yep.
We love you, Dr. Keith.
We love Dr. Keith.
I love Keith. Keith reached out to me the other day, and it was fantastic. It was great to talk to him.
He did. What did he say?
Nothing. It was personal.
I read everything, every text of his, even if he doesn't write, hey buddy, I always add the hey buddy to it. I don't know about you guys, but I always add it to it. Hey buddy, and then the
Hey buddy.
Hey buddy.
Hey buddy. Hey buddy.
That's a good segue into welcome everybody to the Backstage Boys podcast, episode number 74. It is the first live Backstage Boys podcast, broadcasting live on our brand new Twitch, which Basil can be found at
BZ. It's an extra E in there because for some reason
our Twitch, the show Twitch, not your personal Twitch.
Oh, I thought you said mine.
My God, he's running the business for himself.
You said where could they find you at?
No, where can they find the show? The Twitch.
The show can be found at the BSB show on Twitch.
Yes, that is our new Twitch, guys. We are officially on.
It is fresh. Twitch. I literally made it like 5 hours ago.
It is fresh. It is fresh. But guys, this is episode number 74. Trent Law, my co-host,
Basil,
and we are joined by our dear friend and love of our lives, Referee Nate Speckman, who we miss very much.
I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy he's here.
We missed you way too much, Nate.
Way too much.
It's not the same, man. It really isn't the same.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, nothing's the same, but I see your point. Can
we just blame COVID? We do blame COVID for all this, right? This is COVID's fault.
Absolutely.
It's COVID. Always is COVID's fault.
Always COVID's fault, man. That sucks. That really sucks.
COVID's annoying.
Nate, I gotta say, we went down. We were in Nashville, and it absolutely all we said on the way down was it's not the same without Nate. Nate should have been here.
That would have been great. I would have loved to have been.
You know how many times I wanted Nate to come with me to Impact?
No, see, I'm with Nate because Nate's not gonna unless you're asked. You know, you're not gonna just push yourself on, right, Nate? Like that's
I don't know. That's not my mindset.
It's that. Wait, do you show up to parties you're not invited to? Like, are you that? Are you
I bet you do.
I've done a few. I've done a few back in the day where I've crashed.
Like, hey, Baz, I didn't know you were gonna be here.
Now we know the place is gonna get wrecked. Dude, me and my crew back in the day, it was horrible. We would wreck places when we were younger.
You would
we
wreck
just move on to the
home?
Next.
Wow. How would you do that?
People had. We were. 20,
Did you steal? You didn't steal.
No.
Come on, please don't steal.
No. What the hell?
You just jump on the bed.
No, it was just. We've had the cops called on us a few times.
Yikes.
We've had some scary things. I remember getting in trouble at work because I used to work at Target and I was the oldest. So I'd be the first one buying booze for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember the next day, like my boss calling me on my day off like screaming at me, like, you got everybody drunk and hungover, and now they're all calling off. And I remember he's like, I can get you in trouble because I know you supplied the booze. I'm like, well, if you want to be technical, you handed off the booze to John, and John's 19. And then
That's still not legal.
It's well, because you're not supposed to hand the booze off to anybody who's underage. And he
John's
was with
underage.
me. John was underage. He was with me in line, and then my boss handed him the booze to let him hold it because John was a big dude. John was our bodyguard. And now John's a cop.
John's a cop.
I love John. Yeah, John's doing great. He has a family with like 3-4 kids. I think he's living in Michigan right now. He's doing great for himself.
Wait, who the hell is John? Did I miss something here?
No. John is before our time. Like John is like 13, 14 years ago for me.
That always reminds me of so the original MLW podcast used to be Conan was on it, right? And it was Court Bauer, Saint Laurent, and Conan never knew Court's name was Court. He'd always just call him Kurt. You guys remember this? He'd be like, hey, he'd always be eating. He'd be like, hey, Kurt, did you watch Raw? And talk about it and just be eating, right? And then one time they had Larry Zbyszko on. Like, I remember he was all funny. Like, Conan's all like, Kurt is, Kurt, you've been around. And then Larry just at one point goes, who the hell's Kurt? Like,
who the hell is Kurt?
Who the hell's Kurt? But dude, the original MLW podcast was so ridiculous. It was just
ridiculous.
You remember that, Nate? Like it'd just be Conan eating for most of it. Like he'd just be eating and like he'd be like, so did you guys watch SmackDown? And they'd be like, no, we didn't watch it. And they're like,
is this after the 15-minute intro of playing a SmackDown or a Raw clip?
Oh God, they used to. Did they do that too?
They used to. I don't know if they do anymore.
I don't remember that.
I remember it's hilarious because like Conan just like sends like random DMs to everybody. And this is after I've worked with Conan for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me a message after the last message right underneath that talks about how I knew LAX at the time.
Yeah.
Worked with them at AAW. And then I've worked with Conan, taken multiple pictures of him, talked to him multiple times. I get the, hey man, have you listened to my podcast?
Have you listened to my podcast?
And I'm like, Conan, what the hell? I was like, Conan, seriously?
I saw somebody tweet out there like, are you even a real wrestling fan if Conan hasn't emailed you or DM'd you asking if you've heard of his podcast? Which is true. I'm like, what in the world? Why?
Asparagus video. Yeah, Conan's always on cruise control. Like the man does a million things, but he does them at his pace.
Which is
it's
like
fantastic.
A third speed. But yeah, that was early days of LNW radio. It was a very interesting place.
Good times.
But no, speaking of good times, Nate, again, we miss you. It's great to see your face.
I miss you so much.
We for those who are new to us, we spent a lot of time, the three of us together, and we've been on a lot of shows together and spent a lot of Nate and I used to have tea and grits every Sunday morning and talk about life for hours. It's life and philosophy of pro wrestling usually, but but it was nice. Saturday, those Sundays in the park are not the same, Nate. Also, it's really cold. I still go every Sunday and just sit alone.
You sit alone in the park in the cold
and just
on the buddy bench.
On the buddy bench, waiting for somebody to come sit next to me and be like, "Hey, man!" Like they do in sitcoms all the time. It's always like, "Hey, you okay? You need something to talk to?" And I want to be like, "No." No, I'm okay. And then be like, all right, no, actually, if you got a minute, hey, let me tell you about the last time I was on this buddy bench and then talk about Nate for an hour. I've been watching a lot of like really shitty sitcoms. Well, I shouldn't say Boy Meets World is a shitty sitcom, but season 5 is terrible, by the way, boys. I got to say, okay, I'm going to have this debate right here on our first live broadcast. I jumped on and started watching Boy Meets World from the beginning. I have not seen it since the original airing. You two always fight me on Boy Meets World versus Saved by the Bell. I'm on season 5. By the way, okay, I'm going to say it's a great show. Rewatching it, it's a great show. However, season 5, absolutely atrocious is season 5.
We won't disagree with that.
There's a time travel episode where they go back to like World War II era Philadelphia. Sean
Listen.
Hunter's extremely emotional in this era.
There's at least one of those episodes in every season. You can't judge a season on those episodes.
Do you know what? Do you know what's also? Trent, like, he watched this all within like a month. He's like it probably a month and a half, maybe at most. I get play-by-play updates and I love it. It's he literally will start
Today.
texting me beginning of the episode. Oh my god, this is what blah blah blah, and I'm just like, just watch the fucking episode, and then he's calm 15 minutes later.
I'm like, oh my god, Topanga, that bitch. like today, Nate was the one where Lauren came into play, and I'm like, what a bitch. Then I'm like, damn, Topanga's a fucking nut job too. They're all crazy.
I dropped the hard T on her too.
Those are tremendous episodes.
Ridiculous. Acting was.
See, the thing is, Trent, like I said, Trent watched this all bundled up together. So he doesn't have like the emotional investment of seeing Sean and Corey and Eric and Topanga grow over these like 5-6 years that the episode went on.
And repeat the same year of school and then graduate early.
No, they started off in 7th grade, 7th and 8th.
No, it's definitely messed up.
It's really messed up, but they saved themselves by starting in 7th grade.
I did watch it when it aired up until, and 5 is where I kind of fell off because it was like, it was like 98 and my life was all about the NWO and chicks at that point. So I wasn't really watching Boy Meets World on a Friday night.
The way Trent was describing his 97, 98 year, he goes, bro, it was all about the NWO and it was all about ass. That's all I cared about. He's like,
he's a more vile
Saved
word.
by the Bell was on New Class season 18 at this point.
New Class could take a shit. Fuck New Class. I was done. I didn't bother.
Dustin Diamond was chilling. He's like, hey, these young kids are getting younger and younger, and I'm getting older and older.
I get older, they stay the same age.
They stay the same.
But Nate, my life was all about the NWO. Come on, late 97, early 98. What else was
98? It was all about Austin.
No, it was the NWO Wolfpack came around.
NWO died out by the end of 97.
I had a second shirt to buy at that point. And then I was like the cool guy going up to chicks with my NWO shirt on. Like, what's up, baby? I got a car.
New ass.
Being an ass. New ass.
and then you had the college years.
College years wasn't bad.
It was 1 year.
It was one season.
It was more like the college year. And then they all dropped out and got married and shit. And then
more like the
Jesse went on to be a fucking stripper.
Terrible.
We all have our drop-offs, Trent.
We do. Let's talk a little wrestling though. We gotta let these new people know what we do in comparison to other shows that we're on and stuff.
So this is our BS part. We're 13 and a half minutes in. We're on brand, guys. We're on brand.
On brand. It's about right. So for those who don't know, what we do is the three of us work in independent pro wrestling. That's a big love of our lives, a big part of our lives. We met through it. We're all a part of it, a very important part of it. We've been there for many moments, different companies. I mean, you name it. Like, we've done a lot in a very short amount of time. We're only doing more. Background though, Nate, if you want to tell some of the new, there's a lot of My Impact listeners in here today. So if you want to tell them,
great, it's fantastic.
Yeah. So you want to tell them who you are. I mean, I talk about you a lot on the show. People know Referee Nate as well. But if you want to tell people who you are as well.
I'm a referee.
Yay!
Yeah, that's about it. There we go.
He's a lot more than a ref. Nate is I'm gonna take this. Nate is a fantastic person. He is a kind-hearted soul. He cares about others. He always brightens up everyone's days.
This is nice.
I desperately miss our road trips that when Nate came with me for a few impacts. He was at Hard to Kill, and then we did this loop. What was it between?
We all did Hard to Kill.
But we were in Dayton. Was it Dayton?
Yeah, it was Dayton to.
It was Dayton and Detroit that we did, and that was a crazy 48-hour loop.
That was a fun loop. I'm so bummed I didn't go with you guys on that one. That
you should have. Yeah, that was great.
You missed out on meeting Lou.
I heard the legend of Lou, which Nate.
You know what?
Nate was so impressed with Lou. All I heard about was Lou for like a week.
I was actually just thinking about him the other day.
You know what Lou texted me the other day?
What's that?
He goes, "Which one do you want?" And you know what I'm talking about, Nate. How many things does Lou have? How many multiples?
Yeah.
Title belts. And he goes, he's like, "Which one do you want?" I'm like, "I don't want any of them, bro." He goes, "No, you have to pick one." So he's gonna give me a WWE championship because I have the AJ Styles plates that are just sitting here. So I was like, "I'll take the WWE championship, I guess." He goes, "Yeah, I got 2 of these anyway, so it's cool."
That dude's the coolest dude in the world.
So cool.
And Basil, how do you know Lou? He doesn't work in wrestling, right?
No. So I know Lou so way back in the day when NoDQ.com had these forums called the Mayhem.
Oh,
like God. I'm talking 14, 15 years ago at this point.
A long time ago.
And there was a core group of friends who I'm still friends with. You actually met most of them at All In. That was Jesse, Adam, Greg, James. All of us have been friends for about 15 years at this point. And we all met, or at that point, that was like 12, 13 years. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time all of us have been together, but we've all been together individually. Like I've gone down to St. Louis. I've gone up to Detroit. They've visited Chicago a few times to watch AAW or WWE shows or whatever back in the day. Mm-hmm. And then that's how I met Lou, is through Jesse and Adam. And Jesse and Adam are some of my best friends who I literally talk to every day. And yeah, and then Lou has a fantastic place. Lou is a fantastic person. We're gonna try to get Lou on the podcast.
Yeah, let's get him on. Fuck it.
We'll get Lou on the podcast. I mean, now with this live format, now I feel like a lot more inclined to get guests.
Yeah.
Will you tell Lou I said hi?
I will tell him.
Lou.
I'll actually tell him right now for you.
Nate was so impressed with Lou. He just kept saying such nice. He's like, what a great guy. I almost felt a little jealous. I mean, I got to be honest here. I felt a little threatened. I said, who's taking Nate away from me here? Lou's taking up too much space in Nate's heart and head over here. Okay, like I was a little hurt because I missed the trip as well. So
I just sent it to Lou.
There we go, Lou. I want to meet Lou.
Look at that focus right there.
There it is.
That's perfect.
Nate says hi.
He does. That's what he says.
So Nate also, and I'll chime in on the second half of the biography of Nate.
There you go.
Nathan Speckman started his refereeing career under the pseudonym of Steadfast Lee Stevens, which is how I initially knew him, and I thought his name was Lee.
I remember that Twitter handle time, and then Sammy Callahan was like, "Nate, well, just use Nate."
This is after Sammy Callahan beat Nate in the middle of an AAW show. Or like Nate, you got that was Nate's, like, that was it, man. He became a celebrity overnight at AAW that night after he took a beating from Sammy Callahan. I remember you coming out at intermission. He was like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Oh my God," and you're like, "I'm like, my kayfabe, Nate." He's like, yeah. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to count later. My neck and shoulder just killing me.
That's not exactly what happened.
I told you to play it. You should have worn I did tell you should have worn a neck brace during intermission.
I just stayed in the back.
You did walk out, and you were very, chest was puffed out, and you were feeling good. But no, Nate is one of the greatest people I know. He is an amazing referee. Great conversationalist. He's a great father to his dog and a great husband. Great to your dog.
I was like, wait, is there something that we don't know?
No.
To his puppy and Rufus, and a great husband and a great friend and just an awesome dude.
It's not just Rufus. Say his name, his full name.
His full name.
Sir Rufus
Thank you.
Of Maine.
Put some respect on Mr. Sir Rufus.
Sorry, Sir Rufus. He's a great referee, and he's a lot of fun to be around. So we've had great memories together. He's currently refereeing for Limitless Wrestling, right? Nate, talk about this. Let's start off with this right now, because you left Chicago, where you worked everywhere, right? I mean, you did everything in Chicago. You want to quickly name the promotions you worked in Chicago? Just like
sure. Yeah. So I was regularly working for AAW, Warrior Wrestling, and then the Wrestling Revolver, and then I'd occasionally work other places like freelance wrestling, Glory Pro,
Did you use Zello? You did
I did
Zello,
use Zello, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Freelance Underground.
Did you ever do CSW when you were out
I
here?
did not. No.
Never did? Okay.
No.
And you moved back to Maine during the thanks pandemic. Thanks a lot for fucking taking away my friend. But anyway, he moved back and okay, so you're at Limitless.
Yes.
In your home state. But you worked Limitless before or never did prior? Like
No.
before you came out? You never did, right? Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's talk about this. How did that connection come about? Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So Limitless. So first of all, they started in September of 2015. They had their first show on the 12th, and I actually moved to Chicago that month on the 1st. So 12 days prior to them having their first show. But when they started to make a lot of noise, and I started to pay attention to them, and I was like, wait, there's this company in Maine. And I think ultimately, because the first couple shows that they had, it were sort of like underground, and would be a lot of people that at the time people weren't aware of. And then I remember they had a show that had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Chris Hero. And I think that's definitely when I first heard of them. And I think that's probably when a lot of people first heard of them. And then they started making big waves after that. And I was like, I'm going to keep my eye on these people. And then there was a show. I would go back and visit family pretty much every year in September. Over the course of 5 years living in Chicago. And I went to, I don't remember what anniversary show it was, but it was called Pretenders Beware. And just sat in the front row with my friends. That was after I started training. So I think it would have been 2018. And then went to another show, also their anniversary show. It was a big show that they had in the biggest building they've run before, like previous, the Portland Expo. And then
what's the capacity there?
It's like there's big bleacher setup and everything, so they could have quite a few people if they wanted to. I think the way it was set up, let me look it up actually, so I don't speak out of turn. But
compared to one here in Chicago that we can kind of
like Cicero Stadium.
Oh, okay, shit. All right, so that's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let me just see if they have, because I think they got I don't want to speak out of turn.
Come on, Nate. Don't leave us hanging, man.
This is live.
There's no edits here, man.
Live content on this.
There's no edits, man. This
Cage match has an attendance of 857.
Okay, like you can round it to 1,000 with everything standing and stuff, right? That's not a bad room at all.
No.
And do they sell it out for capacity?
I don't know that they did.
Okay.
But again, I wasn't working for them at the time, so
right. I'm curious.
But at that point, they use a lot of the same people, and a lot of people I have worked with, like Ace Romero, Chris Statlander. We're big. We're and are big tent poles of that company, and so I just got to talking to people, and I had also worked with Anthony Green at a Black Label Pro show, and then worked with Danger Kid and Aiden Agro at a freelance show. And so just talking to Danger Kid, they're known as the Maine State Posse. And Danger Kid is one of the guys that helps in the, like he does a lot of different things for Limitless. And so just talk to him about when I started to like plan the move up here. I was like, you know what, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm just going to like, I don't know what they're doing about shows. I'm just gonna like go and be in their dojo, see if I can like go to the dojo.
Mhm.
So I talked to Danger Kid about that, and then they actually had they're doing a series called The Road. They're in their second season right now, and they were like, you know, we need another guy. We need another referee for the second season.
Mhm.
What time or what date did you say you were going to be here? And I was like, I'll be there. I'll be there in September. I'll be there if you need me. And just sort of took off from there.
Nice, man. I heard of Limitless. I never watched any before you sent us that clip. We checked out was that one of your first matches that you had back, right?
Yeah.
On the way back from Nashville, we watched that. But I don't know, Basil, did you ever watch any Limitless prior? I mean, I've always heard of them. I just never watched their shows.
I watched, they had an original tournament, and that's when Max became champion, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a tournament. They had a 4-way.
It was a 4-way. That's what it was. I think there was like qualifying matches to get in that 4-way or something. There was something going on. I don't remember, but I remember there was like, I remember watching MJF win the title. I remember AC being in that match. Because Harry did a really good job with the pre-build up on. There was like these videos that were done,
Mhm.
and there were some really cool pictures. And it actually got me kind of hyped. So I watched that. I haven't watched too much Limitless. I know it has a very good fan base
Mhm.
in the Northeast and Maine. I've seen a few shows. I haven't watched too much because there's so freaking much wrestling that the Midwest like engulfs all of our time, especially if you're like in it.
I will say, just as a plug for them, you can find almost their entire catalog of shows on IWTV.
Yep.
And then they also throw up a lot of content for free on youtube.com/Limitless Wrestling.
Yeah, they have always had a good YouTube presence. I remember that was one of their big things. Them and Beyond,
Yep.
as far as East Coast went, were two of the bigger indies and bigger YouTube presences on indie wrestling. And Beyond like got in early, like that, or Beyond took advantage of it. And I read about how they like worked like a professional YouTube placement company. Like they've done amazing things with their channel. It's incredible. Limitless also had a pretty good presence too. So it's important, guys. One of the things we all stress too is like if you've got content, it's better in the world than it is sitting, on your hard drive or whatever. So if you have promos, whatever, pump it to YouTube, put that stuff out. But as you guys see, it's so important, to have just content for a wrestling company in a time like this, where pandemic time, your content's limited. You need a good YouTube presence, and Limitless always did have one. So, no, that's cool. That's very cool, man. But yeah, no, that's great. I'm glad you're working though. I'm so happy that you at least are reffing. So are you guys? You're not shut down though, huh? Because we got shut down here in Chicago.
So, I wasn't there for the first season, but from what I understand, the first season of The Road is very similar to the second season of The Road, in that there's no audience. The Road is pretty sweet, Adam.
Yeah.
Quick little plug: Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, on IWTV and Facebook.com/Limitless Wrestling.
Fucking A Wednesdays.
And so,
can anybody go to Thursday, please? Can anybody go to Thursday? I'm begging you guys.
You'd be an unopposed presence on a Thursday.
There's like 18 shows happening on Wednesdays now.
I get it.
We have there's MLW and now Limitless running at the same time, and then you have NXT and AEW running at the same time, and then you have the Mass Wrestler that happens afterwards, which is like,
well, that wrapped.
Well, I know that just wrapped. That just wrapped last week, I believe.
But also, it's on demand. You can watch it whenever you want.
I know.
Well, Bill. Nate, you'll be seeing Bill at some point. That's Bill. That's the man who makes every town.
Is that Bill?
Front row Bill.
Yeah, that's
right
Bill.
here.
That's front row Bill.
And I'm shocked, Bill. You've never been to Limitless because he's been everywhere.
Pop at that picture. I love that. That's his profile picture.
That big, yeah.
Every time I pop.
Sammy Callahan nailing Melissa Santos. Look, Adam.
Yeah,
Limitless. There you go.
So season 1 is a lot like season 2, where there's no actual audience. They take wrestlers on the card that aren't currently wrestling in the ring, put them at ringside, space them out. There's very few of them, and they all have masks on. So it's done very safe, and it's not open to the public. And season 2 is done exactly the same way. And the Vacationland Cup, which is a tournament coming up on December 19th, also airing live on IWTV, is the same way. We're all of a sudden blue now.
Yeah, I was messing with the colors.
Go back to blue.
I'm trying to match the Backstage Boys colors here.
There we go.
Realize I can do that.
This feels great.
There we go.
I love blue.
There we go. It's more the BSB colors.
It fits everything with me.
Your room is very blue.
Well, because I have the blue. I installed LED lights.
Cool.
The BSB logo is kind of blocking right now, but yeah. So I do that for my streaming. I went with a full setup. The only thing is just trying to decide how I want to upgrade my camera, if it's even worth it. But this is fine right now.
Looks good. You're fine.
I know, but 0 to 100 always, everything.
Always.
And the amount of money I've dropped on streaming shit and upgrading my computer, it's way too much.
Take it easy, Basil. Take it easy. All right. So little background on the show. What we did is, so as I mentioned, we all work in it. I'm a producer for independent pro wrestling at AAW primarily, and been doing that since 2015, and produced a lot of people who are currently on TV now. It's been a great ride. A little bit of everything: production, direction, booking, show setups, you name it. In independent wrestling, you kind of do a little bit of everything. Nate, you know that as well. You do a little bit of everything. You're not just a referee. You're also coordinator. You're also a talent gatherer. Security.
Anything and everything.
Anything and everything. I mean, it takes a lot. So I've been doing that for a while. And then, Basil, I will let you give your spiel, and then I'll engulf all this into one package with a Christmas bow on it and tell us, everybody, what this whole thing is.
So I have been a photographer since summer 2017. Worked at countless indies all around the country, mainly in the Midwest. And then since January 2019, I've been Impact Wrestling's photographer. Also have worked with AEW. Still work with them technically. It's just, pandemic. And then MLW, pandemic. But yeah, no, it's I'm a freelance photographer. It's great. You get a lot of freedom, get a lot of choice. Mm-hmm. I love what I do. This past year, I've been extremely blessed because I've been Impact's pretty much only photographer since April. There was 2 loops that I missed this whole year. So, but hoping to change that in 2021 with being their only photographer.
Yep.
But yeah, it's seen everything. I feel like, not everything, but I've seen a lot, and I'm glad to be in the position where I'm at, and just happy. It's just been a good time. And this break right now, like, COVID kind of gave me a little bit of a break during the holidays, which kind of appreciated, because this is the longest from November to January will be the longest I've gone without shooting wrestling since I've started in this business. So
taking all that consideration, guys, what the show's intention was to kind of take 3 people or 2 people or 5 people, whoever's on the show, mainly like Basil and I started, but the 2 of us, to take that and give a little glimpse behind the curtain, backstage, if you will, on what goes into making indie wrestling happen, because it's a different world. It takes a lot more. You have limitations. You have different, X factors that can go wrong. You have a lot working against you sometimes. So it's a very interesting environment that forces you to be creative. It forces you to find new solutions, a lot of problem solving, and nobody really understands how much it takes, even at the independent level, to make a show go from inception to production. And we just wanted to give a little glimpse behind the scenes of what that is, how that kind of comes to be, what the players involved do. And then during the whole thing, we won't really talk too much mainstream stuff unless we're involved in it. That's the only time we really talk mainstream. But otherwise, it's really just indies and kind of what goes into it. And then we just kind of riff on various topics. So yeah, that's kind of the intention behind it. We've been doing it for 74 episodes as of today. It's our first live one. The road to 100 continues, Basil. And,
you know what? Now with this, like with the idea that we have presented, we're gonna be presenting guests from various parts of the wrestling industry. Like the one thing that I've been fortunate enough with wrestling, photographing wrestling everywhere I have, is I've made a lot of connections, made a lot of good friends. There's a lot of people who want to talk about their aspects of wrestling. I mean, it doesn't always have to be someone in production. It could be a wrestler who does a lot of social media, Twitch, and producing their own content as well. This isn't about storylines. This isn't about talking about rumors. We're not going to do that. We don't. So if you're looking for scoops or anything of that sense of storylines, you're not going to get that here. This is going to be talking about what happens in wrestling, what goes into it, what we do.
Yep.
Especially when things go live. This is going to be more talking about a retrospective of what happened the past weekend, especially when we have multiple shows. I mean, man, last year there was a time where between Trent, myself, and Nate, one of us was always somewhere, and sometimes multiple days. Like we were at shows 2-3 days a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes.
That's true.
So you get a lot of different aspects of everything that happens, and I feel like with bringing in more people, especially everyone's at home, people want to have an outlet. I think this new format will be great.
And the thing is, you mentioned us being everywhere. It's like, yeah, you guys sometimes, because you guys are actively, like, I actively work show-wise AAW. You guys work different promotions and would be, on shows. Like Nate would ref 2-3 shows a weekend sometimes. Basil, you'd be shooting 2-3 shows a weekend. Even at my level, like, you'd have a show, then you'd have a booking meeting, like you'd have post-show kind of breakdowns, synopsis, like analyzations. Like you'd have, there's so much people don't realize it goes in, even with not just the wrestlers, the crew, like the referee and the photographer also have a lot of demands to gather people, bring things over, get themselves to shows. I mean, there's a lot going on, man. So
remember Hard to Kill? We had that Impact show that Nate refed at earlier in the day. Wait, did you ref at that show? There was 2 shows you refed at.
The Stadium Brawl, right?
Yeah. That was the Impact Plus show. Ref Nate. We brought Nate to that one. Had to help out with a couple things a little bit over there, and then later that night, we had to take the rental because we had one rental. You guys had to drop me off at where MLW was.
MLW, yeah.
Pick me up. We went back to the Airbnb, and the next day we all went to Hard to Kill. I mean,
not even that. Nate, after he refereed, you went to the arena, right? To set up for Hard to Kill. And
yeah.
Because remember, Nate you didn't get back to the house till like midnight. I remember we were all up.
Yeah, something late.
So think about that, guys. Like, nobody considers the fact that he reffed the show, and then had the whole crew, including Bravo. Right, Bravo was kind of leading all this charge, right? Wasn't he? Bravo like got everybody, and you guys all went to set up for Hard to Kill the next day. Like, again, nobody realizes the amount of work that goes into this, and our intention is to bring some of that aspect here to appreciate your crew. It's kind of like it's kind of saying tip your bartenders. But no, that's cool. Speaking of bartenders, Nate, I always think about at Turner Hall, the tea bar that was not tea bar from that, whatever that is, but the tea and coffee bar at Turner Hall. Do you remember this? There was a full-time tea and coffee bar just for like crew of the show.
Yep. That's why it's one of my favorite buildings to work in.
I loved it. It was like,
Turner Hall is it was so nice. Like, I went back a few months ago or it was whatever, a month or 2 ago, whatever it was, whenever Zello had that last show.
Yeah.
And I just remember getting the message from Matt. He was like,
Mhm.
"Hey man, Milwaukee went on lockdown. We're canceled." And I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And then I was like, "Okay, I'll go to Black Label. Black Label's literally on the way. I don't have to drive an extra hour and a half out of my way then.
Mhm.
After already driving 7.5 hours." And then the week we were at Impact, Black Label shuts down, and I was like, "Ah, shit." So, yeah,
But if you
dude. I
can't
mean,
go to Turner Hall, where are you going to get your coffee and tea?
I love
fuck
that.
if I
Nate.
know.
Man, like it was literally, guys, it was a full-time barista just there in this back room for the crew of the show, not to the public. And it was like, yeah, we took full advantage of it. But there was like that lounge too, Nate. There was like they had like vinyl records in there, like a couch, and like it's like a green room for the crew.
That
It's
place
so
is
fancy.
great.
I love Turner Hall. I really wish we could run there again at some point.
You will.
We will. I know Danny loved it. We would like to go back. I remember like we gave him such a great show. I mean, Taya, John, Penta, Phoenix, Sammy, Jess, good brother number 3.
Juice, the juice.
The juice. We brought
had the
so much.
juice.
We brought so much to Milwaukee, and it was like the problem with Turner Hall is the fees, though. Can we agree on that? Like the fees.
There's like a fee for the fee.
There's a fee for them charging you a fee. It's like, here,
There's a historical building fee.
There is a historical building fee, and then there's a ticket printing fee. I'm like, no, cool, I'll take it digitally. Then there's a digital fee too. It's like, what the fuck is this? It is like a mob run venue, but it's amazing. But like,
it looks tremendous.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The problem is on a front row ticket, front row is like $50. There's $17 of fees. That's enough to turn me away. Like, honestly, I went to 2 Ring of Honor shows there, and both times I bought tickets off of some guy for face because he needed to get rid of them. But I was like, it would completely turn me away. Like, I have to say, like, if you're telling me like my ticket's $50 and there's $17 of fees, I'd be like, how bad do I want to go to the show? You know?
Yeah. I remember what the AEW at the front row, it was like $23 in fees or some shit.
When AEW ran last year?
Yeah.
It was a lot, man.
It was close. It was around $20.
It was enough to just upset me.
It was, and we didn't even buy tickets.
No, we didn't have to buy tickets, but like shit, man. Like I felt bad.
I got a $60 parking ticket last time I went there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I haven't paid it, but I don't plan on going back to Milwaukee anytime soon, so we're good.
What, you didn't pay it? Why?
No, because fuck Milwaukee.
Fuck Milwaukee.
I'll pay it one day.
I also loved the little hole-in-the-wall cheese store that was there.
There's a cheese store at Turner Hall?
No, like down the street and around the corner.
Is it really? I mean, it's Milwaukee.
Ticket fees are not going to end with the pandemic, Bill. It's going to get worse because everyone's going to be like, it's going to be a pandemic fee to make up for the money that they lost.
Wait. I want to hear more of this cheese store, Nate. Where was the cheese store?
Look it up. Milwaukee Cheese Mart.
The Milwaukee Cheese Mart. Is that what it's called?
What's the other cheese mart that we always drive by?
The Mars Cheese Castle,
Mars, man. Yeah, I love that place.
That place is amazing. The Mars Cheese Castle is
I'm thinking about going up there maybe this weekend just to go.
Yeah, it's just called the Wisconsin Cheese Mart. And it's
Trent, you want to go to the Cheese Mart this weekend?
You sons of bitches. Don't you
want to
dare.
You want to go get cheese?
I would love to get cheese.
I love cheese. I'm off this whole weekend because my new job loves me.
I love cheese, man. And Wisconsin's the land of cheese.
Nate's so literally having an internal panic attack right now.
Do you like cheese?
Do I like cheese?
Nate looks like that, but like when you scrunch up your socks when you're folding them up, and you have like 5 of them in your hand. Yeah, that's what his face looks like right now.
Do you know anything about me?
I do.
I know everything.
So guys, I was plugging the show just now on our Facebook page, and I accidentally actually posted on the AAW Facebook page.
Yeah, I can't wait for Pekovic to text me and be like, "What the hell is this?"
I deleted it quickly. That would have been bad.
You don't even know the brutal heat that I got one time when Trent reposted a photo op that I had.
Which one? Which one was that?
It was like there was like 86 stories that you had on Instagram through the AAW account, and you retweeted or you reposted when I was doing like a photo op thing at the Freelance Academy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. That's
I got
right.
literally wanted to quit the JLMT in the middle of the freaking tournament because of the heat of that. It was like between night 1 and night 2. And he was so
unnecessary.
mad.
I was like,
he was so mad at me, and I was just like, "Bro, I didn't retweet this." He goes, "Well, take it down." I was like, "Okay."
I was like, because I put it out because it was like you had tagged AAW in it too.
Yeah, I tagged every promotion. Dude, Impact even gave me clearance to use the photos to promote my shit. And I was like, "Josh, can I use this?" He goes, "Sure." He's like, "How much money we get from it?" I was like, "Nothing." And he goes, "That's fine."
He's like, "Why are we posting his personal photo shoot stuff that tags all the other companies?" I'm like, "Dude, it was a share."
Oh no!
Yeah, was that in between?
It literally crippled AAW's business because of that.
Oh god! Oh god!
It did not. It did nothing. It did nothing.
Yes, we did.
We did say Wisconsin cheese. Adam Impact lived near the Mars Cheese Castle, or I don't know which cheese one he's talking about.
We need cheese. I need cheese curds.
Did he live near Turner Hall?
Curds ASAP.
I would
and not from Culver's.
Not from Culver's?
No, I don't mind cheese curds from Culver's, but I'm saying if I'm going to go to Wisconsin,
yeah,
I'm not getting Culver's cheese curds. I want Wisconsin
real
cheese curds.
Mars Cheese Castle.
Man, the Mars Cheese Castle is great.
Nate, when you come to Chicago so we can go get cheese.
I will go to Chicago just to go to Milwaukee and get cheese.
I'll go to Chicago just to go to Milwaukee.
Because nobody goes to Milwaukee. Everyone goes to Chicago. You go to Milwaukee, you come back, and then you realize there's like a real.
I got to go to Chicago to pick you guys up.
Yes.
Isn't that Canada?
It is, or the Northeast. I mean, Nate, there's some poutine by you too. I mean, it kind of bleeds over from Canada.
Probably
going over the border to get some fries and a gravy, sir. Super Troopers, anybody? No. Okay, moving on. Can I play TNI?
I just want to chug a thing. I want to chug a thing of maple syrup right now.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Can I play TNI sound bites on this show or no?
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? We can do whatever we want.
We're sitting here talking about.
Can you bring back the Eli Drake soundbite that you guys are like allergic to because he doesn't work for the company anymore?
I love Eli Drake. I'd rock it. But speaking of cheese, I think this is a very fitting soundbite though. We gotta definitely play that one. All the cheese talk we got to talk about.
He's fat. Where's the he's fat one?
Oh, we got that one too. I think.
Can we just play that one?
Let me see if we still have that one in there.
I love that one. That's my favorite one.
How does this magic work?
He's fat.
It's not even the one with them sitting. He's just like this with his fat little finger.
He's fat.
Love it.
These are great. These are fantastic. No, we had some good ones in here. We had some.
I haven't heard these in a minute because I'm not gonna lie. After shooting Impact and then watching Impact and live tweeting Impact, I don't want to watch a show talking about Impact.
Jeez.
I try to.
Thanks a lot.
That son of a bitch.
Thanks a lot.
You know what you need? Do you know what you guys need though? You need to get the soundbite from Julian's vlog where Rich Swann pretends to be Kane and then sings the Slow Chemical.
Oh jeez.
God, are you serious?
Yes, it's amazing. It's just and then there's like pyro that goes off. It's fantastic.
It's Rich Swann acting like Kane in Julian's vlog.
That's all money.
And singing Finger 11.
Yes,
that's a lot going on there. I must say.
You've stepped over the line. Now you've taken it too far.
Okay, I just gotta say.
Oh, did you guys delete that one now that he's he's AEW? Do you
That's
really
Stinger.
know?
Stinger. Well, by the way, the companies are working together clearly, so it's fine. Everything's okay.
Now he likes the AEW guys.
Okay, take it easy, man.
This is free reign.
Let's not draw any lines here. Let's not make it an issue.
That's not how you handle your business. Calm down. Don't do this.
Was that at the promo with Myers?
Yeah,
where Myers is like, "You're old, Tommy."
Yes,
that's what we know that. We're like, "Thanks, Brian."
Nate cannot believe what's happening here right now.
We've lost it. We've lost. I was supposed to talk about the Vacation Land Cup.
Let's
talk about the vacation.
That's a great.
We still have time. We're only 50 minutes in. Who gives a fuck?
That's true.
That's a great I mean, okay. One last soundbite, but it sums up exactly what's going on here. I just gotta say. or try to stay on topic, and things really don't work out, what happens? It just turns into one of these. It just never stays on topic. But that's what this show is. It's one big car crash.
That was not planned. That was me and Nate literally had the same exact reaction. We were both like this. We couldn't. Okay, so when Trent plays these sound bites that goes apparently for 30 seconds.
The best part of the car crash one day is that it keeps going. It's another like 30 seconds.
I was expecting mixed music to play.
Yeah, or Razor Ramon.
Poor Nate. All Nate can just sit here.
Former TNA champion, so you like him too.
He is a former TNA champion.
Has nothing to do with Hell in a Cell. Why you like him?
No,
he beat Sting in Lockdown.
That's right, he did. He did. Remember the book he put out, Countdown to Lockdown? Did you ever read that?
No.
It was good. It was a good book.
His first book's tremendous.
Oh, his
first book is fantastic. Speaking of first books, I'm actually reading Young Buck's book right now.
Oh, nice.
I just got that copy in the mail. Yeah, I just got that copy in the mail, and my dumbass already spilled water on it. And it's the hardcover copy too. So, yeah.
Jeez, I guess this is a fitting soundbite for that. Who booked this? Anyway, go on. All right, Nate. Let's talk about the cup. Go ahead.
Oh boy. Yeah. So.
Wrestling.
Everybody loves tournaments. Who
Yes.
doesn't love tournaments?
I love a good tournament, man.
I love the JLM.
Even being production, the JLM
tournament.
Somewhere out there, Chris Romero is like, fuck these guys, man. Or even Charlie. Charlie's like, fuck these guys.
We need to
our
get
boys,
them on.
2 Wheels on Face podcast. Listen to them.
We need to get them on because it's usually around our annual time that we already passed off.
Yeah, it's true.
We'll get them on.
No, by the way, being backstage, like production crew for a tournament set of shows is a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
So much fun. Yes. I mean, just being a part of it. Like, you guys fans think it's great. It's fun to be a part of a tournament. But anyway, go on, Nate.
Yeah, so Limitless has a tournament that they do called the Vacation Land Cup. This year will be the 3rd year that they've done it. And it's actually it's changed what you get from winning it, even just over the course of 3 years. When they started it in 2018, the winner got to choose his opponent at the anniversary show because they didn't have a championship at that point. The following year, 2019, the winner got a shot at the Limitless title, which was new now. So that was Anthony Green.
Did he get signed, by the way?
He did, yeah.
He did, right? Okay.
So he got to challenge for the championship. And then after he got signed, he relinquished the belt. So there's no champion. So right now, Limitless does not have a champion. So the winner of this year's tournament actually gets the belt, which is totally different and I think super exciting.
There's been no indie wrestling for so long that not only Limitless lost their champion due to signings, PWG lost their tag champions.
Yep.
Because that was the Rascals.
Oh, that's right.
But I think if depending on what happens with Trey, I think Trey was alluding to take the title, and then it should be him and Myron because Myron's an original Rascal with Trey.
That would be awesome.
That's right. He is. Well, it doesn't get mentioned enough, by the way.
No.
Well, because it was so old school, and then Myron did his own thing with Injustice.
True. Interesting. Well, that sounds fun, Nate. I like that.
Yeah, and the difference between this tournament and other tournaments are it's just a 5-match tournament. There's 4 singles matches and then a 4-way final. So it's not like a bracketed thing. It's not. Yeah. And there's been a few announcements for the show. Actually, all of the entrants at this point have been announced, and I can run through them really quickly.
Mention it.
So the first one is Lee Moriarty. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Lee Moriarty. He's making his Limitless Wrestling debut. He was a big hit at the Collective recently. And he weirdly, when it feels like nobody's running, this dude's just been taking off and making a huge name for himself this year, which is really exciting. So he's entrant number 1.
He recently did an episode of Explosion for Impact.
He did.
Versus Suicide.
Entrant number 2 is Ace Romero, a gentleman we are all familiar with.
He just moved back home, right? By you
He
guys.
did just move back home.
Yeah.
Some would consider him Mr. Limitless Wrestling. He's been there since the beginning. What's this?
Hold on. Oh, no.
Where'd it go?
Oh.
Is that Lou? What's his name?
Miss you guys. Hope you guys are safe.
Hi, Lou.
Lou. Louie. Go ahead.
There we go.
Ace Romero was actually in the main event of the first ever Limitless Wrestling show. So that tells you what he means to the company. And he actually was in last year's tournament, and he was the runner-up because I didn't mention the 4-way match is an elimination match. So last year he was the runner-up, losing to Anthony Green. Entrant number 3 is Christian Casanova, who, again, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with him, but if you aren't, you should be.
He's a fantastic wrestler. I have caught a few of his things.
He's insanely good.
He's very, very good.
What is this?
I'm just playing comments
Cheese
over.
curds.
Cheese, you're talking about cheese. I'm just putting this over.
Perfect.
Just keep talking. I'm just letting the listeners know their comments are being seen. Go ahead.
Thank you. So Christian is actually, I'm pretty sure the only one in this tournament who's been in every one. He was in 2018. He went to the finals. And then in 2019, he was eliminated in the first round. But again, Christian is another guy, I think, like Lee Moriarty, whose stock is only going to rise in the next, year, 2 years, 3 years. After that, we have entrant number 4, Daniel Garcia.
He's another fantastic wrestler as well.
Yeah, he's from Buffalo, and Buffalo, New York, and yeah, for the culture. Casanova's great. So Daniel Garcia is another one that people need to have their eye out for if they don't already.
Nice. Okay, I've never heard of him.
Entrant number 5 is JD Drake, who I'm sure are familiar with as a tag team wrestler. Now he's sort of branching out as more of a singles guy, and he's got a great opportunity to do that in this tournament.
Nice. Very cool.
Entrant number 6 is another gentleman we are very familiar with, Myron Reed. I'm waiting for the oohs and ahs.
I love Myron.
Myron Reed.
Not fire. Myron Reed.
There it is.
He's got red hair.
Can't you see?
Little throwback.
Did you see some guy, by the way, insulting him on Twitter? Like, the fucking vest you wear is so stupid. Why do you wear that? Like, this guy could not get over the vest. Like,
and then I bet he was the biggest D-Lo mark ever.
Yeah, right.
Myron answered very properly, though. Just like, I like the vest. I like it.
Yeah,
It's part of my look. Like, that's it. But the guy just couldn't get it. Like, why do you have fucking vest? Fuck that vest. Nah. It's like, geez, relax. The vest. Take it easy. Go ahead, Nate.
Entrant number 7 is another guy from Buffalo, New York, Kevin Blackwood, who was in last year's tournament as well, and actually defeated Christian Casanova in the first round of that tournament. Blackwood is very interesting. He's been, I think, super quiet this year, and I haven't seen him pop up in a lot of places. So I think he's definitely going to be somebody who's coming into this with something to prove. And then the last entrant is Alec Price, who I don't know that either of you know who he is.
No, never heard.
He's been a standout on the Road series. I'm not quite sure where I think he's from Massachusetts. I'm not quite sure where he came from. I don't know if he's a chaotic guy or what. but he started making a lot of noise in Limitless's sister company, Let's Wrestle. And then right before the pandemic, he started getting put on main shows. I think he had a match with Jake something, which was really, really good. He just got the shit kicked out of him for quite a while. But he can take a beating and come right back. So he's interesting.
What's his name?
Alec Price.
I was really kind of leaning to the Jake something thing, but go ahead.
Oh, gotcha.
His name something. Yeah. Anyway, go on. Anyway.
So those are the entrants. And right
some
now,
new names in there. Some new names I've never heard of in there. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get your thoughts on the show once it airs on the 19th.
Where is it airing now? Is it IWTV?
IWTV. Yep.
Okay. Now, are they big on like character build and promos and vignettes and stuff too?
Yes, Harry Aaron shoots a bunch of those. You'll see them scattered throughout the Road series.
I want to watch this now. Yeah, you got me curious.
They do like post-match interviews sometimes, or the post-match promos.
Key.
Yeah, there's a lot of content like that on their main shows, pre-pandemic and post-pandemic during the Road.
Basil, we've worked so many indies, and you've worked so many indies. What a missed opportunity some indies don't do about doing post-match promos and inserting them in, or at pre and post, inserting them into the show. Like AEW's always done that, so I'm a big proponent of it, but I am shocked at the amount of companies that just don't do anything. And it's like, so what a missed opportunity to feature your talent.
Everybody has content at this point. Put it out there.
I remember telling Warrior Steve, so I'm glad Limitless does it, Nate. Yeah. I'm telling Steve, I'm like, you have all these big names here, like huge names, like Suzuki and Will Ospreay and the Rascals and this and that. He's got Amazing Red. I'm like, it should have been standard protocol for every roster member to do a drop for the company. Hey, this is Will Ospreay, and you're at Warrior Wrestling or some shit. You check out Warrior Wrestling on IWT, whatever. I'm like, the names you had, how did you not get a recorded content with all of them? It's like mind-boggling, right? Like missed opportunity. You have to take advantage. So I'm so glad I really want to check it out, because that's got me curious about Limitless more than anything, because matches are one thing, but how much time do you put in and invest into building your characters, into selling me on a guy or girl for the next show to be like, oh, that's cool. I heard their voice. I heard what they can do. Now I want to see them back up that talk,
Yeah.
That's great. And I'm glad they do that, because it's so many, more often than more of them lose the opportunity than take advantage of it. And I think it's a huge, as a producer, it blows my mind. And I learned even more when I was working at Impact for that weekend, like seeing how much they get on tape. Like we got 4 days with these people here, or 3 days, whatever it is. Like, get as much shit as you can on tape while they're here, because you have to. You have no choice. You're going to see these people for a limited amount of time. It's like, get them on tape, get them plugging your shit, get them doing something. So it's a huge opportunity, which indies don't take advantage of. So definitely that's got me intrigued.
Good.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they've been big on storytelling for quite a while. Good night, Adam.
See you, Adam. But we'll start wrapping up here in a second too. We're at about our hour mark here. We want to keep that to the hour, and we got our good pal J Bones going to go into the studio here and do his live broadcast after we're done here, so you guys can stay tuned for him.
Yeah,
as well.
Just real quick, there's just a couple more announcements.
Yeah, sure.
So there's only one match announced so far for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Moriarty taking on Daniel Garcia. Yes. That was just announced a few hours ago, actually.
Even though Lee is Wholesome Gang, I love Lee.
Lee's great.
What's Wholesome Gang?
There's Wholesome Gang and there's Creep Squad. I'm Creep Squad. The Creep Squad. Some major players is Big Swole, Faye Jackson, Austin Creed, Tasha Steeles. That's Creep Squad. You got like Scorpio Sky. Lee is in Lee's in Wholesome Gang. Shug D is in Wholesome Gang.
Is this like an Animal Crossing thing? What are
Yeah,
we
what-
talking about?
No, it's battle lines. That's all it is. It's
Look
just
who-
no.
Look who's here, guys. Look
Yeah.
who's here.
Hey, we're just
Compadre
talking
Chris
about
is in the chat. We gave you a plug earlier, Compadre Chris. We definitely
you-
made sure to mention the JLMT earlier.
The JLMT.
We're gonna get you guys in here, Chris from Two Heels on a Face podcast, guys. If you are not listening to Two Heels on a Face, they are really good buddies of ours. Go listen to them as well. Available
Definitely
on all,
check them out.
yeah, available on all platforms. But Chris, tell Charlie we're gonna get you two in here. Oh, since we're going live now, we're gonna get you guys in here with us one of these days. So whenever you're up for it,
Look at it. He said it right.
He said it.
JLMT. He said it right.
we did a live broadcast, or we did a in-person broadcast with Two Heels on a Face. The three of us did, and Nate was eager, frothing at the mouth to just tear into Charlie and Chris about the T,
You know-
the JLMT.
What we might do a bonus podcast where we just do like a retrospective with the Two Heels in the Face boys, and then obviously we'll have
where we
Nate.
talk about the Jim Lynam Memorial.
Yes. There should be an actual memorial because of this. We should put up a memorial at Danny's house, and it's just like, a stack of DVDs, AEW DVDs. Or something.
But yeah, we'll get them on there. I mean,
Yeah.
with this, I feel like with this is a lot more open, a lot more welcoming.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the future for the BSB.
Yeah, same here. Let's start wrapping up. We're at about an hour. We're at a good time. We don't want to go too long here. But any more announcements, Nate? Anything else?
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah.
So there's not. It's not just the tournament. There's also undercard matches. There's Big Beef Gnarls Garvin has been announced for the show.
Ooh, I love Big Beef.
Big Beef.
There's also, and this is actually a full match that's been announced. Maine State Posse taking on the Sea Stars.
Oh, what you like? You're a
Ooh.
big fan. Sea Stars, right?
Sea Stars
I
is
am.
awesome.
Sea Stars, who were just recently on Impact Wrestling.
And Sea Stars have a match against Havoc and Nevea this Saturday on Impact Plus for Final Resolution.
That's right.
Oh, do they?
They
Yes,
do.
they
It
do.
got
It was just announced today.
Nice.
Yeah.
MSP, I've been told, is looking to make a statement during this match, which should be exciting to see. And then lastly, there's a guy, Rip Bison, has been announced for the show.
Rip.
Again, another guy I don't think either of you are familiar with, but Trent, you would absolutely love him.
Rip Bison.
Yeah, he's sort of like an old school brawler type. I'm actually about to tweet at BSB Show a list of some of his free matches on YouTube.
I think Trent would like Megabyte Ronnie.
Trent would absolutely love Megabyte Ronnie.
Megabyte Ronnie.
and Rip Bison. These are some interesting names.
Bro, Northeast breeds some talent, bro.
Megabyte Ronnie. There he is. I'm looking this up right now. I want to look at these names. Have me so intrigued.
You know what? I know this goes against your core values and blah blah blah. But a lot of these talents are on AEW Dark. They have been recently.
Okay.
And if you want to watch some well-produced matches of theirs, check out like AEW Dark, I believe, puts out individual matches as well on their YouTube.
Okay.
So if you want to check out some of these guys, I would recommend going there.
the another guy, the Megabyte Ronnie, his banner photo on his Twitter just says hot dog shit.
Yeah,
Because he's a former competitive eater.
he's a hot dog
is
guy.
Yeah,
Wait, Rip. Oh, Bison. I googled Rip Bison, but Bison Smith came up, and Bison Smith is dead.
No. Go to the go to Twitter. I just tweeted at BSB
I'm looking at it right now.
a list of his free matches on YouTube.
Okay,
The dude's insane.
I'll retweet it. I'll hit it with the retweet. Why not?
I do that. Rip
Let's
Bison.
show Rip Bison some love.
There you go.
Bill saying right here. Skeptical. I was telling my BLP Megabyte Ronnie is awesome.
There you go.
He likes him. And then another Bison. Yes, another Bison. I want to see this guy. You got me intrigued here. Look at that. Oh, BYSON.
Yeah,
I like the look already. This is a great look.
I
like
think
this guy.
he's definitely a Trent wrestler.
I already like the look.
It's already Trent's third favorite wrestler.
He's
Yeah.
already great. He's already. I got an 8x10 autograph on my wall
Stang.
already.
It's not Sting. It's Stang is
Stang.
his favorite wrestler. Stang.
Stang.
But yeah, once again, I'll just say December 19th live on IWTV.
And you'll be reffing, correct?
I will be reffing.
There you go. You guys can see Nate in action. Especially
That's
when
what,
he's
next Friday or next Saturday? Next Saturday.
I don't know what
Next
day is
Saturday.
today.
That's next Saturday.
Next
Today's
Saturday.
the 7th. It's next week's Saturday.
It
Yep.
just turned the 8th, actually.
just the on the East Coast it did. So on
Well, on the
that
East
note,
Coast. Yeah.
on that note, we wrap it because it's past midnight for Nate. It's into tomorrow. So but guys, thanks
Tap
for
that, Matt. That sounds. Look, highlight Chris's comment really quick.
Let me see here. He's saying, I want to see a Nate Speckman t-shirt on BSB's PWT store. Tap that, Matt. You got
Tap
it.
that, Matt, baby.
It's happening. It's happening. Nate, we're giving you a t-shirt. Look, Perch has t-shirts. What the hell? You
Sure.
got it.
Yeah, we need to
And
get.
everybody can have shirts if they want it. That's fine.
I feel
I do
like
not.
with this format, we need to have Nate back on the show.
Nate, you should be a regular. You can be.
You want to be
one of
back on the show,
boys.
Nate? Can we have you back on the show?
Are we doing this every Monday?
Yeah, every Monday.
What's the plan?
What else happens
Well,
on Monday? It's not like any other wrestling show happens on a Monday.
Yeah, anything that anybody watches. But anyway,
I have to eat cheese.
Eat cheese. All right, look.
What if we find a way to ship you some cheese?
I would do the show.
All right, plug your Twitter, Nate. Where can people follow you, sir?
It's right here.
It is.
Well, yeah, but for the people who are listening on the podcast,
it's for the audio people, Nate. There we
At
go.
Ref Nate Speckman.
There you go. Follow me.
There you go.
Basil, we're going to connect with you. You're going to be tweeting photos tomorrow for Impact. I know that. So
I will be. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ, like how it's listed right there. It's B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. My Twitch channel, because for some stupid ass reason, somebody took my handle of BZ, so I had an extra B to it.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, I was so mad. And do you know how many reports I filed with Twitch? And that Twitch account doesn't even do anything.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I'm
So you
hella
have to have a different. Oh, it sucks.
So
That
I'm
really
trying to get my Twitch back. I'm trying to get my Twitch back, but I don't know anybody at Twitch. So
If anybody has a connection at Twitch, let Basil know. But yeah,
I want my 2 E's back, man. My name's already long enough.
Damn, that sucks.
And wait, no, this way.
This way. Yeah,
Where can they find you? Where can they find
me at Trent Zuberi over on the Twitter. As J Bone says, the Twitter box.
The Twitter box.
The Insta Neck. He calls Instagram the Insta Neck.
And this is where you smash this now.
Smash this podcast in the Insta Neck. You guys can also listen to me on Total Nonstop Impact tomorrow night. It is Tuesday nights right after Impact Wrestling. It's the flagship show that we do for the TNI network. It's Total Nonstop Impact Tuesdays, Thursday throwbacks from the Asylum, and Sundays the Explosion and Open Forum show. So you guys can catch me there. We also have let's see what else. No, it's the best place to follow me. Hemi Music on Instagram and Twitter as well. So guys, the show is available at the BSB Show on Instagram, Twitter. Facebook and Twitter, but on Instagram it's the Backstage Boys Pod, because some bastard, some gutless piece of shit took the BSB Show and does nothing with it. So we are the Backstage Boys Pod on Instagram. But follow us on there, guys. The show's available on all audio platforms: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Amazon, you name it, we're on it. Alexa will play Backstage Boys, so if you tell her to play it,
That's true.
She will. And so rate, review, subscribe, guys. YouTube at the Backstage Boys Podcast, and now featured on Twitch at twitch.tv/the BSB Show. Give us a follow on everything. We're building the live platform. We're going live. Our first live show today was a lot of fun. We're only going to get better. And we're going to keep doing this as regular as we can. And on the road to 100 continues, Basil. To 100. We should have been there a long time ago.
We go. Yeah, we should have been there like 2 years ago.
But what we'll start doing is having more guests. We'll do theme topics. You'll get to know us. If you're new to us, you'll get to know us a little bit more and kind of the other side of us. So you might see us on other stuff. And
I'll be announcing next week's guest sometime this week, probably by Wednesday. It's a very good guest. So I'm excited for you guys to see who we bring on, and hopefully you guys stick around. So appreciate you guys coming in for this first show. Stang.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
That's how we refer to Heath. Every time I see Heath, I just go Stang.
Stang. You mean Heath Slater? Heath?
Yeah. I just say Stang.
Heath. Every time I think of Heath, I just think of this.
It ain't no secret. I need a job.
He's got a job now. He's
He
also got a
hasn't signed
fucked up groin.
Well, guys, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Oh, is that Sir Rufus making a cameo appearance?
Put him on camera real quick. There
Sir
he
Rufus!
is. Sir Rufus.
Look
We
at
got
how
dogs. We have
adorable
dogs.
he is.
He's
He's so cute.
Good boy.
I
Good
love
boy,
him.
Rufus. Good
Good
boy.
boy. He's the goodest of boys.
Nice. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We will talk to you guys next Monday. Definitely don't forget, connect with us at the BSB Show on Twitter for that guest announcement by Wednesday. So stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Have a great